Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third episode of Top Talks, where we welcome new CEO Clubs members. Before beginning our interview for today, I would like to mention, given the times that we live in, that we have taken all the necessary measures in order to conduct this interview in safety for our health and for everybody involved, for the crew and, of course, for us here. Today we have with us somebody who I think it's the first time we're meeting, right? So yeah, that happens as well. I get to meet people, these interviews are very nice because it gives me the opportunity to get to know members. So today we have with us Razvan Bratu, who is the Vice President of Global Customer Experience and Hubs leader in Honeywell Safety and Productivity. Okay, that was long. That was long, but anyway. So welcome, Razvan.
Thank you very much, Sotiris, for having me.
It's a pleasure. So let me start with the first question. But before that, let me tell you the rules of the game, which more or less you know. So we have 5 categories of questions. You can choose any category every time for any question. Each question bears some points, and your target is to reach 100 points in 30 minutes. If you fail to do that, you will have to give away 5 books, 5 of your favorite books for our CEO's Back to School project. If you manage to do that, and I'll make sure you will get to contribute with 10 books.
Let's overachieve, Sotiris.
Okay, great. Then I'll give you a bonus. I'll give you, okay, we'll see. So let me start with the first question. Who is Razvan?
Well, Razvan is, first of all, a husband and a father.
Okay.
So I've been married for 10 years now, and I have 3 kids. My son Eric, 7 years and a half old. My daughter Clara, the middle one, 4.5 years old. And my youngest daughter Adelina, who is 1 year and a half.
So not too much sleep.
Not too much sleep, busy dad. So I can see, with all the makeup, that's the best it gets these days. But it's really for those having kids or multiple kids. You get to enjoy it.
Okay.
You find the joy in life for sure. No, and I have wonderful kids and family, so I'm really blessed.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and same to you. Secondly, I'm obviously a career-driven person. I've been working since I was in my high school days, so since I was 16 years old. So I have quite a background and an experience across multiple domains. I started off in doing translations because I speak 5 languages, so it's helped me earn money really soon.
Which ones?
So I speak English, German, French, Spanish, and obviously Romanian.
Cool. Okay.
so that helps a lot. Yeah. And I know a few words in Greek, but you told me not to mention them in the interview. So
let's not go there.
Let's not go there. Okay, got it. So again, career-driven person. I have a bit over 17 years of experience just within the corporation and the corporate world. I was one of the first persons to get hired, like literally within the first 100 people to get hired in one of the first companies to open up its doors in Romania, and that was Hewlett-Packard a long time ago. And from that point onwards, my trajectory within the corporate world was really fast ascending because there was nobody else with experience within that world. So I was fortunate enough to be part of the first wave of this corporate movement within the region. And after that, again, as long as you do your job, as long as you achieve results and you're really truly dedicated to what you're doing, it really pays off.
Yep. Nice. So tell me more about what you guys are doing there with the safety and the productivity solutions.
Right. So let me just take a step back. So Honeywell is a group of companies. There's 5 companies in our group today, and there's a 6th one that is going to emerge, but that's a surprise coming up in the news soon. Where my company is called Safety Productivity Solutions. And the main focus of my company is to provide warehouse automations.
Okay.
Right, we're building those conveyor belts. We also have customers, airports, right, or big companies. Amazon is our biggest customer yet. And if you check any YouTube movies, you'll see their warehouses. They're pretty much people in there. Everything is automated. There's conveyor belts that get the goods from the moment the truck comes in until to the shelves area and so on. Yeah. That's all our design.
Sorry to interrupt. Recently, I read that interesting story about these declarations by some of the employees there about these plastic bottles that they give them to when they feel like they want to, take a pee or something, and they
Really?
just gave them. You know that? Yeah,
No.
it's a whole story in the States.
Okay.
So they don't waste time. They're
Okay.
using this so they don't waste time.
We don't transport that
course,
part of
I
the
know,
goods.
I'm sure.
We never did testing for any sorts of other liquids, but body fluids. It's just a pure automation. We're doing a warehouse software as well, right? Via commands that you get in your earpiece, right? So the robot tells you where to go pick up the goods and where the respective, if you're looking for something in particular, you will know what it is by giving a command, to your headset. So a very out of this world type of technology that we're putting in, and we're one of the few, if not maybe the only company in the world that has such a robust end-to-end solution. Sensors for warehouses, from fire to humidity to pressure to whatever you can think of. We're building it. Gas sensors as well, gas detecting solutions, right? For that we build for our pipelines and for bigger customers that are within the utility business. We're building. Also, in other parts of Honeywell, not within SPS, we're building, anything from aerospace technology and building technologies, which is probably one of the leading marketing areas for us, because everybody knows Honeywell because of our building technology, solutions. So we're pretty much everywhere, right? So we're a big, colossal, right, industrial production mammoth. But we're also incredibly agile. We need to be, because otherwise we would have been out of the market since tens of years ago.
Okay. How many people in that department?
So company? In my specific, in Honeywell globally, I think we're a bit over 150,000 people, and it's actually growing because we're growing different parts of our businesses. Especially our supply chain sector is growing rapidly. Within my organization specifically, I'm managing a bit over 2,000 people globally today.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So, thank you very much for that. Are you ready to start?
Let's do this.
Pick the first category.
Well, you want to know more about me, so let's go with personal.
For 10 points, what is your biggest regret in life so far?
Wow. Biggest regret in life. At some point, I wanted to learn Chinese and Arab. Okay. And I decided not to because I was too busy. And till this point, I kind of regret that decision of not expanding further my foreign language, let's say, ability within more exotic languages.
Okay. But it's never too late,
Never too late, but never too late. I'm going to say no because...
Okay. I'll give you these 10 points. Okay, so here's your first 10 points. Second category?
Let's go with career. For
another 10 points. What sacrifices you consider you have done in your professional path to reach where you are now?
That's a tough one, right? I think it has to do with the time you invest in what you're focusing on, right? The one thing that I've learned myself, right? I'm speaking now from my personal experience. If you really want to do something and you really want to be the best at something within that industry or that sector, you have to dedicate everything, in that direction, literally, right? You have to put all your time in there. So that's pretty much the tough decision is at some point, there's no perfect balance in the world. There's no perfect balance between career and personal life. Whoever says that, I'm going to call BS on that, at least from my experience. There's certain periods of time within somebody's life, especially when you're growing up and you want to achieve, right, your goals, you have to put everything in there. You can't have a 9-to-6 career or a job, right, and pretend that things will just fall from the sky because, it doesn't happen. So, again, it takes a toll on you sometimes because, at some point you might maybe want to spend more time, right, maybe with family or with friends or in social interactions. Sometimes you're not able to do that because that might, derail or delay you from achieving your targets. So
I think one of the main reasons why this happens is because when you reach that point, there's no clear line anymore between life and business because business is life and life is business. So I think that many people are falling into this trap. I don't know if I should call it a trap. I don't think it is, personally. And it becomes difficult to see the line. To me, that's the normal thing to happen.
Exactly, and I agree with you on this one. There's some people that who are not, so career driven, or they don't have these professional goals, and it's understandable. Everybody's different. We don't all have to be the same. What's really important from my point of view, there's no right or wrong, as you mentioned, right? As long as you're feeling good about yourself, as long as doing those things or focusing yourself in a direction that is rewarding, and you feel like you're achieving something and is also rewarding at the same time, you're going to be okay. If not, and there's no joy coming out of it, something's wrong. And you have to take a step back and change something in your direction.
Yeah, but it's a lonely road, huh?
It's a lonely road. It's sometimes a painful road, for sure, because you're learning things, or you're faced up with even ethical situation, right? And as long as you don't, and I think it's just a test along the way. There's a higher power that probably tests us every single moment. As long as you keep your ethical standards, your ethical principles, and you stick by them no matter what and no matter who, you're going to eventually get there. But this is why probably also few people get to that point, because some people maybe along the way they lose that set of values, or they lose their focus.
Yeah, and it's I'll give you more points for that, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
I think that what happens along the way and sometimes messes up the process is that we sometimes stop paying attention to the process, and we are getting focused on the result.
Yes.
And this is a mistake. As long as we take care of the process will take care of the result.
But you only get to have this type of understanding with experience. Even if you read 20 books, right? And I'm an avid personal development, lecture reader and so on. Even if you read it, right, it doesn't stick to you unless you experience it. And once you experience it, is then you have the aha moment to say, oh, okay, so this is what it's all about. Or if I should have known this, 5 years ago, I would have not made this and that mistake. At the same time, if I wouldn't have made those mistakes, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Exactly. So it's a chicken and egg.
Chicken and egg. Chicken and egg.
Okay, so another 10 points for me. So you get the 20 for this one.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations. Next one.
Well, let's go with funny.
Funny. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
I wanted to be a pilot.
Okay.
I remember that. So my dad had a friend that was a pilot, and I remember I was 5 years old, 6 years old. I went in Otopeni Airport, right? And I managed to enter the cockpit, because I was, allowed to by the pilot, by the captain of the ship. And it was such an amazing experience seeing all those buttons there, and the pilot, Grig was his name. He was showing me how to push the buttons and what each of them does, and how you play with the, with the stick, the navigation stick, etc. For me, it was mind-blowing. And I remember after that, I think I literally dreamed for about a year or so every night that I was flying planes and I was being a pilot, and I was telling my dad and my mom, I'm going to be a pilot. I was never good in math. So, that took me to political sciences eventually. So
so I guess that you are a Top Gun fan, eh?
Oh, I know all the scenes by heart.
Okay, great. So 5 points are yours.
Cheers.
Let's move to the next one.
Leadership.
Let's see what lies here. Another 10 points. What are the biggest challenges leaders are facing today, in your opinion?
Ooh. Wow, it depends so much on the situation you're in and on the function you're in, by the way. Finance versus supply chain versus customer versus sales, always different versus engineering, by the way. But generally speaking, I would say is how the chicken and egg paradigm. You need to achieve something, right? You're not alone in doing that. You need people, really good people. You need to choose the right people for the right job. Mm-hmm. That's number one. So people, key factor in everything. Again, I don't want to sound too, out of, helicopter type of statements. But if you get the right people with you in your team, half of the job is done. Mm-hmm. You got to take care of your business, right? You got to make sure that you continuously improve what you're doing. And if you're okay, or you're going to office every single day and you're happy with what you're seeing in your daily work, you're doing a really poor job. You should be not frustrated, right? Let's say you should challenge yourself, right, in a positive way. You shouldn't, get into a depression, obviously, but you should expect, or you should drive and actively and influence change and a transformation for the better, right? Efficiency gains, better customer satisfaction every single day in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Every single day. Do not wake up and think you're going to do something else because it's a Friday, or because today I have to, short day because I really don't feel like working. So that's one. can talk about those days as well. And thirdly, and last but not least, actually, it's the customers. If you're in any type of business, financial services, production, manufacturing, retail, whatever, FMCG, you have customers. If you don't understand who your customers are and you don't talk to them on a very regular basis, like daily basis, you interact with your top A customers to understand what they feel about you. I know what do they like, what they don't like, what they want more from you, and so on. And you don't include that to whatever extent possible, obviously, in your business model, you're going to fail, guaranteed fail within a couple of years' time.
Yeah. A short comment on number 3. For us as a club, 2020 was a very good year. If you ask me, the main reason for that is that we decided as soon as the first lockdown began, I think we managed to call each and every one of the members having nothing to sell or, no scope other than just asking, hey, how are you? Are you okay? Are you hanging in there? Is everything fine? Just that. And it made all the difference.
Of course it does.
There was no phone call less than 30 minutes. And we did 5% of the talking. You can imagine how much people really wanted to talk, what was going on in their lives, in their companies, and understand that other people are in the same situation. And, just saying thanks for calling. That's all.
Very good. Very nice.
And this is where you understand, as you said, what your counterpart, your partner, your client, your member, what do they need at that point in time? And then you go back and you're thinking, how can I deliver part of it or all of it, or,
Yeah, what can I do to help? Right?
Yeah.
Makes a huge difference.
Another 10 points are yours. So we
Thank you.
Move to the next one.
We didn't touch inspirational.
Let's get some inspiration.
Let's get some inspiration.
Let's see, 5 points. What was one of your most defining moments in life?
I
By
have
the
two
way,
of them.
you can take all the time you want to think.
Yeah.
Because we will edit it afterwards. So
You just shorten it afterwards, right? Like, Razvan was so quick. It's two, okay, three of them.
Okay.
I can't just one because all of them had really a lot to do with who I am today. One, I was at some point in my university years, very early university years, and my mom had a big influence on me, right? So she's a workaholic, so guess who I take up after. And she called me saying, hey, I'm working for this guy. She's an accountant, right? So she was doing accountancy for this NGO, which is called ANEIR. It's the National Association of Exporters and Importers from Romania. And the leader of that association is Mihai Ionescu, Dr. Mihai Ionescu. He's very active today publicly as well, and he's in all the ministries, in all the public appearances with the government and the prime ministers and so on. And my mom was telling me, hey, I think you should work for this guy. I think you like this guy. He's super smart, super influential, and you need to, steal trade, right? So you need to stay with him because just by being next to him, you learn a lot more than whatever else you learn anywhere else. And but there's one catch: you're not gonna get paid. I'm like, what do you mean? Working, in university years, I was trying to make a life. I was, earning money since my high school. So for me, it was like, why would I even do that, right? I need my money. Right, so she said, no, well, that's a trade. You might get something, but it's going to be really little. Anyways, go for that. Your life is going to change. I met this guy for 30 minutes, and after I met this guy, I'm like, let's do this. I worked with him for 3.5 years. So throughout my university period, I worked with him. What I learned during his time and what I experienced, right, during that time is amazing. I was the youngest representative of Romania to go to foreign trade reunions, like in Japan. I stayed in Tokyo for 3 months, as a student, right? I mean, who would do that at that point in time, tens of years ago? So really good exposure for me from a professional perspective, and it taught me that it's not about the money, and which is 99% of the young people, they make that mistake. They think it's all about the money at the young stage. It's not. It's about learning, what you need to learn. It's about learning how to do job and how to get things done, how to influence, how to network, how to make things happen, how to turn situations around, how to get out of a sticky situation. You need to learn. And the more you learn early stage, the easier it will be for you to climb the ladder and to understand what really drives success. That's one. Secondly, I was when I joined Honeywell. I was talking Honeywell when I joined HP. Actually, my first job in a corporation. After a couple of weeks, I decided it's not a good thing for me as a corporation. I need to go to the foreign ministry because I wanted to go down the diplomatic life path because of my previous experience. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna quit. So I started to become like a wise ass, right? In responding back in calls, or I was challenging trainers that were teaching us how to operate with the pricing process because I was assigned to pricing in HP. And I was just making things a bit uncomfortable for everybody and just challenging. And I was like, you know what, I don't like it, so I'm just going to make sure that I let people know that I don't feel comfortable. At that point in time, the manager of that team, Liliana Shek, is her name, Romanian. She was living in Germany for 20 years, and she was sent specifically by HP to open up the center in Romania, in Bucharest, because she speaks the language and she has the corporate culture, obviously. And Liliana hears me, speak that way. She comes to me and says, when I was in the cafeteria, she looks around the table, right, and talks and says to people, I want 30 minutes with you, 30 minutes with you, 30 minutes with you. And when she points to me, she says, and I want with you, it's not going to be enough 30 minutes, I want 1 hour with you. And she leaves. Everybody in the cafeteria is like, why does she want 1 hour with you? I'm like, she's a smart lady. She knows that I don't fit in here, and she's probably going to ask me to leave. So that's why she wants to do that, I meet with her and she starts interviewing me. She's like, tell me about your experience. What high school did you? She started to ask me about my high school education. High school, university. Okay. You're not fit for this job. Here's the thing. You're not fit for this job. I'm not going to invest any more money in your training because it's pointless. There's one option. There's two options that you have, actually. One option is you leave right now. Today is your last day. We part ways, shake hands, and goodbye. And the second option is I'm looking for an assistant manager. Looking for somebody that is going to be my right arm. We're building this organization up from scratch, and I want somebody to literally help me do that, and I want somebody that I can trust. And I think I can get to trust you, and I think I can get to work well with you if that's also what you want. You have 1 day to give me the answer. I get out of there, right? I'm calling my family up, saying, what do I do? I have this situation. My sister was always an inspiration for me. She's 7 years older than me and, very career-driven as well. I was like, what would you do in my place, right? Tell me, what would you do in this situation? Because my instinct tells me that I should, or my gut feeling tells me that I should leave. In the same time, I like this person. What do I do? And she tells, hey, what do you have to lose? Do you have anything to lose? Like within 6 months' time, you're going to graduate from university, so you can do whatever. So how about you spend the next couple of months doing this job? What do you have to lose? Right? Well, I'm going to take it. So next time I come to office, I say yes to her. From that point onwards, my career has been like this in the corporation because, again, I got to see things that a person coming in the first days would never experience. Mm-hmm. And this is why for me, sorry for the long path to the answering your question, but those were moments from a career perspective taught me, first of all, not only what I need to be doing, but also how do I need to treat others that I'm meeting along the way? What type of information should I give them? What type of experience should I expose them to so that I give them the whole, information on a plate so that they can really choose if they want to do it or not. And that's what I'm saying, people are super important, but you have to help them out. It's not just hiring somebody and you say, I'm giving you lots of money. Why don't you go and perform? It's never about that. It's about how do you help them get there. And third moment, when I met my wife. And I met my wife, also because I was, we're colleagues at some point in a corporation that we used to work with, different departments. So, again, things just led, one thing led to the other. So life is very interesting.
Nice. So I have
it's only 5 points. Jesus Christ! that was
I have answer. One. Yeah, I'll give you more. Don't worry about it. But I have one comment for each and every one of your answers. So for the first one, I have a similar personal experience. In my first job at the bank, I had that boss, and every time I was asking for a raise, he was telling me, "You are not here for the money. Just do the best you can every day, and don't worry. That will take care of itself." Back then, I was, I used to think that he's stingy and he doesn't want to give me my raise. I understand years later what he meant, and I repeat that in every visit to the schools that we do every year. On your second topic, one of my top 3 favorite quotes is, "What is the difference between the right and the wrong attitude in life?" So with the wrong attitude in life, life happens to you, and with the right attitude, life happens for you. And it's all about how we decide to act when facing a dilemma. So that day you faced a dilemma, you took 24 hours and you made the decision. Other people could have made the decision to say, you know what, no, I don't like this, I'm out. Perhaps that would lead them to a better place or to a not so better place. We don't know. We'll never know. But life is what we make out of it with our decisions every day. So, and it's up to us for life to work for us, to happen for us and not to us. And the third one, you're a smart man. I give you that. That's called prevention. Mentioning that meeting your wife was one of the greatest things. So that's smart, like, you have my respect already. Okay, great. So 10 points. I'll give you 10 points for that one. Okay,
thank you.
So it seems that we are at 55 points.
Okay,
so we're doing great. We have another 15 minutes, more or less.
Let's go.
So we are like halfway.
We should halfway. Okay.
So hit me with the next one.
Let's go again with career.
For 10 points, share with us 3 things that you like and 3 things you don't like about your current position.
3 things that I like and 3 things that I don't like about my current position. Okay, I like more than I dislike. So I like my team very much. If I would go back in time, I would not be able to pick a better team than what I have today. Hands down, I'm not just saying that. They'll probably never get to see this video. So it's, in my honest truth, it's the best thing ever. That's one. Secondly, I like the fact that I'm doing what I like as a person. I'm serving others and I'm helping others. Now I'm talking about both my internal customers and my teams as well as my external customers, right? I like, solving complex problems. I like helping people out in need. And I like making things happen when everybody else says it's impossible. For me, that's like, you give it to me. If that's impossible, you give it to me, I'll make it happen. So that's the second one. And the third one, I get to improve things every single day, and it's my job to do that. And I love being accountable. It's not stressful for me, or it's a type of positive stress that helps me be better at my job. So that's what I'm doing. So I like to improve things, and I have the opportunity to do that every single day because it's my responsibility. It's not finances, it's not supply chain, it's not this guy and that guy and so on. It's me driving that within the company, and I love that. Okay, so what are the 3 things that I love? 3 things that I don't love. Honestly, I can't say there's something it's probably at some points. The results matter more. How you get the results is less important than actually getting the results, if that makes sense. So you gotta get it at any cost. So if I need to gain efficiency of 20% within a year, because that's my target, right? For example, hypothetically speaking, might be more, might be less. You have to deliver it. And if you're not ready and your transformation is not ready or your automations are not in place, it doesn't matter. I have to cut. And it's also me that needs to get back in the saddle and manage to achieve, because I can't just cut and drop my performance. I can't drop my satisfaction or my, how fast I recover money from the customers. It has to be even better. So that's the challenge. Sometimes it seems a bit unfair in the way things that are being done. In the same way, if I would be the manager of the company or the CEO of the company, I have to say I'll probably do the same mistake.
Yep.
That's and other than that, it's probably too many people expect too much too fast in a way, right? I mean, they want to get to a certain point super fast. That is possible from my point of view if you put all your resources into that direction. You can't expect things to move super fast, but you're cutting down on your expectations, like for example from people's side, right? Younger generations, after 1 year, or sitting in this chair for 6 months, you're like, what's next for me?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I mean, hold on a second. What? I mean, you barely found the toilet on the floor, and right now we're talking about what's going to be your next move. And it's hard to give people these many challenges within such a short time. In the same time, there's very few of them that jump up when you say, hey, I'm looking for somebody volunteering to help me with this super important project, and here's what the project will be about. And say, who wants to join in? So keeping your straight face and not reacting, emotionally to somebody that doesn't behave in the right way is very sometimes challenging for me. So those things I don't necessarily like or enjoy, but it happens, and that's about it. Other than that, I think it's one of the, honestly, hands down, I think the best job that I had in my life so far. So
do you also see that the young generation? Do you also see that they can't wait? That they are very anxious about, they want things to happen so fast and everything should be flowing. And it's as you said, it's been 6 months already. What's the how much do I influence the organization? So do you get that?
I get that, yes. I get that a lot from younger generations. What we're doing also, we have improved the onboarding process. On one hand, even myself, right, for example, I'm interviewing even 2 or 3 levels below me because I want to meet people. I want to know who we're hiring, for what job we're hiring. It's really important for me. So whatever is from a supervisor position or manager position onwards gets interviewed by me as well. So that's one of the ways, right? You set the right expectations. I'm having more communications done, town halls, even virtually, right, with my teams across the globe. It's important, like we're speaking right now, I have the same type of tone and dialect with my organization of 2,000 people. Mm-hmm. You have to be honest, you have to be authentic in what you're saying so that people get to trust you, because the moment they trust you, it's going to, diminish this wrong expectation setting. And I'm calling them out on this, by the way, in the town halls. I'm saying, guys, there's some people, we don't give names, right? But there's, some people that really want to grow super fast. In the same time, those people, they haven't yet put in the work to complete their personal development plan. We have one in place and they haven't completed their trainings. They haven't completed their upskilling. We did job shadowing programs and they did not enroll for those job shadowing programs, so that you can see, how marketing does the work, how finance does the work, how inside sales does the work, because, all these teams, they report into my organization. So where is that, right? I mean, if you don't do that, how can I, come to you and say, yes, I'm going to pick you because you want to grow fast? You do I'm going to help you. I'm going to, open up all the doors, but you have to go through the door. If you're not going to go through the door, there's nothing I can do for you. And if you feel it's not the right place for you, it's fine. We can part ways. When I came on the job, my attrition rate was 33%. And now my attrition rate is 17%. Mm-hmm. So after roughly 3 years. It took some time, right, to decline it, right? But it's getting there and it's getting better.
Good, great. So another 10 points for you.
Evaristo.
We have 5 minutes. We have to be very fast.
Funny. Let's be funny, quick.
Funny. Describe your first day at work ever and share with us.
Say that again, sorry.
Describe your first day at work ever and share with us the silliest thing that happened on that day, if there was one. Something embarrassing or something funny or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to name the person. I was in my high school days, right? And I was going to a lawyer's office. I was acting as a translator for the lawyer's department. And the person sat me next to her, and she gave me a lighter and said, listen, welcome on board, whatever your name is. Whenever I reach out for my pack of cigarettes and I put it in my mouth, I need your help because I'm also typing or on the phone. I also need you to also help me with my lighter. So I developed these peripheral views. So every time the first time I was like, where did I land? What am I doing? Is this career? Is this work?
That's amazing.
My parents are doing that. What? So so I was doing this all the time, right? I was typing and I was like, so I'm able to do multitasking since early days.
That's one of the coolest tasks I've ever heard of, Great. So I'll give you another 10 points for that. Okay. So 20 points for you.
Let's go with
next one.
Personal.
For another 10 points, what is your greatest fear in life? What do you fear the most?
Biggest fear in life would be for me not knowing when to stop and enjoy my life. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I've learned that if I'm going to go at the pace that I'm going today, I'm probably not going to reach the retirement stage and enjoy my retirement pension. And I want to do that. I want to get there because I'm contributing so much. Okay, so that's one. So what I decided to do with my family, right, is I've set a goal, right? And I need to reach this goal, which has to do also with a financial number, obviously associated to it. So the moment I reach that number, for me, it's I'm done with with this hectic way of doing. I'm not saying I'm not going to work anymore. I'm just saying that I have other personal projects. I got certified as a coach. I have also, we have a little small private family business that my wife takes care of. So I would rather dedicate my time focusing on that, on things that bring me joy and help me spend more time with people that I love and respect. I love and respect people in my office as well, just to be super clear. But I want to do it on my own terms and in my own time, and in a different pace. So
with these 10 points, we are reaching 95.
Come on, let's go. One more.
But I will give you another 5 points if you tell me what's your number. We all have a number. What's your number?
It's a big number. It's a big number.
We're talking 7 digits here. Of course. Okay. Of course.
But I'm doing well. I'm on my route there, and I'm doing well already.
Good. So you have my 5 points, my extra 5 points. So congratulations, you just reached 100. And that leads us to the last question for today. What drove you, what made you join CEO Clubs?
So I did hear about your organization before. I'm, obviously connected in the market with different colleagues. Some of them were or are or used to be members of the CEO Clubs as well. So I heard about your organization before. I'm reaching I wouldn't have been interested in attending maybe a couple of years ago, because I was just so focused on my direction. Like, I can't be bothered with going left or right. Anything I would have seen as a distraction from my path. Now I'm at a stage or different, I guess, maturity level or part of my life where I feel like connecting with people that share the same burdens that I do, right, on multiple levels, will be very beneficial, because I will get to learn from people that are smarter than me. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm learning every day from my organization as well, and I hopefully am able to establish some connections that will go beyond just this 1 or 2 meetings in a year. We're going to see each other. So.
That's a promise from our side. And the last question, I cannot help but asking you. You said you are a book addict, so you're reading a lot. Name 1 or 2 books that you read recently, the last 1 year, and really, really connected the dots, or opened a new window that you weren't aware of.
It's the Strategic Mind and Pisti Sophia.
Okay.
I don't know if you read Pisti Sophia. I highly recommend it. It's you have to
Sophia
read it.
from wisdom.
Yes.
The Greek word, right?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. The Greek word, right? It's a book about religion, right? Church, right? Philosophy. So it has a lot of combinations of that. So those will be the 2 books that I recently read, and other than that, right? I mean, it's a lot of philosophy. I'm reading everyday texts, right? So whether it's economical information or financial. So I don't think there's been a day without reading something, whether it's a couple of pages of a book or, but I'm a big fan of, or hobby, reading also philosophy. A lot of that. It helps a lot.
Another Greek word, philosophy.
Philosophy, yes.
Yeah. Like kimono.
Like kimono.
Have you watched that film? My Big Greek Fat Wedding?
I think I saw it.
The guy who claims that every word is coming from Greek, and then he says even kimono, because in Greek winter is himonas. So he says kimono, himonas. What do you put on top of you when you are cold? Then kimono is Greek, comes from Greek. So yeah, but that's our thing, our kind of jokes. So Razvan, thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure meeting you and talking to you.
Likewise.
And I wish you a great ride and a good journey within the community. I'm sure that it's going to be, now that I got to know you. Trust me, I can tell. And looking forward to meet you and to get to know you more.
Thank you very much for having me, Sotiris, and looking forward to meeting my future colleagues in the CEO Clubs.
Thank you all for watching the 3rd episode of Top Talks, and see you to the next one.